You're watching Sports Today. I'm Sushant Mehta. What a win. India thrashed Australia by 8 wickets in the second test to level the 4-match test series 1-1. India was set a target of 70 runs, which the visitors chased down with 8 wickets in hand. Smoking hot performance from India from 36 all out in Adelaide to a dominant win at the MCG. Take a look at India's incredible turnaround.
One run needed.
Ajinkya Rahane deservingly hitting the winning runs as India registered an emphatic 8-wicket win over Australia in the Boxing Day Test.
And what a historic win this is for India. I say historic win because there was a historic loss before it.
The talk was all about showing that attitude on the field, showing that intent on the field, and as I said, character. That matters a lot. Adelaide, as I said, that 1 hour. That 1 hour actually took game away from us. Australia played really well, but I think character and attitude was really important going into the test match.
That might be it.
In Virat Kohli's absence, Rahane led the team brilliantly and scored a match-winning ton in the first innings.
In every sense of the word, this is what it is. He's been the glue to this Indian innings.
On the 4th day, Australian tail did frustrate India, but the bowlers did not let the game slip away. Debutant Siraj had an impressive outing and finished with a 5-wicket haul in the match.
Easy catch for Pant, another wicket for Siraj.
Today, Siraj's effort was outstanding actually. He might not have the numbers to show for it, but the discipline and the ability to bowl long spells, the maturity he showed for someone playing his first test match. And in doing the job that he had to do with once we lost Umesh, who was not on the field, was outstanding.
Over the session. Oh, gone!
Ravi Ashwin knocked Josh Hazlewood over as Australia were bowled out for 200, setting India a 70-run target.
Australian innings is over. India needs 70 runs to win.
In reply, India lost Mayank Agarwal and Cheteshwar Pujara early.
Not sure whether it's swinging.
It's close to his body.
Ajinkya Rahane then joined forces with Shubman Gill, who looked composed and focused in his maiden outing in Whites.
Beautifully played again. Gets on top of the bounce. A gully in place, but goes wide.
I think this will go down in the annals of Indian cricket, world cricket, as one of the great comebacks, in the history of the game. To be rolled over for 36 and then 3 days later to get up and be ready to punch was outstanding. I think the boys deserve all the credit for the character they showed. Real character.
Lovely shot.
Gill finished unbeaten on 35 as India completed a remarkable turnaround after a horror show in the series opener.
And there's a fumble and they'll get that single.
Sports Bureau, India Today.
Ajinkya Rahane gets the winning run as it should.
All of us are just simply in love with Ajinkya Rahane and this current Indian side. Joining me on this broadcast, the greatest Indian batsman of all time in my book, the legendary Sunil Gavaskar, and the final word on cricket consulting editor Boria Majumdar. Sunny bhai, this victory is so much sweeter because not only did we beat Australia, we simply crushed Australia, and especially after what happened at Adelaide, the horror show, as many call it, 36 all out, that's the lowest score ever by an Indian side. Did you think that we will be celebrating India's win after that Boxing Day Test?
Well, to be honest, not that I'd be celebrating an Indian comeback, but I was pretty confident that this team will not collapse like that again, because such collapses happen once in a blue moon. It happened many, many years ago when I was part of the team. And then after that, that's almost 40 odd years later, you had another collapse like that. So no, it's just that I was perhaps not not too confident of an Indian win, but that the Indian team would roll over was never the thing that entered my mind, because I knew that this team has the capability of coming back in the game. They've got some fabulous bowlers, they've got some very, very good batsmen, and I was just thinking that, it can take a little time in Australia, but like everybody says, the team has shown great character in coming back, fighting back, and now this win, like everybody again has said, this is going to be one of the most famous wins in the history of Indian cricket.
Definitely, Sunny bhai. Well, Boria, we had one bad session in that first test match. Remember, that test match also, India, it seemed like we will win that test match. Now here, As I said, it's not only a convincing win, it's been a one-sided drubbing in this test match.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what gives us so much pleasure. When you are written off, everybody says 4-0. I call them the 4-0 brigade.
Yeah.
And, you know, around the world, Australian experts, Justin Langer, Stephen Smith, everyone says Virat
Michael Vaughan.
And Michael Vaughan. Michael Vaughan loves to sort of contradict himself. He will do it tomorrow. So, you know, all these people will say 4-0 and then change their stance. Exactly the same, you know, with the start of the white ball series, you remember? You and I were constantly on air and we would say, come back. It happened. 2-0 down, come back. We won the T20s. You know, it's, again, if someone says today India will win the series, premature. There's a lot of cricket to be played. So enjoy the moment, savor the moment. But it's still 1-1, Sushant. It's not 2-1 in our favor. So there's still the series to be won. And that's what I think is our major goal. For me, you know what, Sushant? This is a test match of hope. It's been a bad year. I was watching your special on the best OTT series, and you said this point that, you know, it gives you a high. Cricket gives you a high. IPL, you and I had so much fun. And after Adelaide, I thought, come on, is cricket also doom and gloom? This test match gives you hope that if they can come back from 36 and do this, we can come back from COVID. This is more a life lesson and an injection of positivity to every Indian.
Absolutely. I think that's why we were all waking up at 5 a.m. to watch this team. What are they going to do? Everybody was a little nervous, but they have outperformed. What an incredible performance. Sunny, I specifically want to ask you about Ajinkya Rahane. As I said, we are all in love with that man. Led from the front, brilliant batting, scored a magnificent century. And the way that he handled the team in Virat Kohli's absence. Your assessment of Rahane, the captain?
Well, more than what I think you had to be around the Australian commentary boxes to understand the kind of, you know, admiration that was there for the way he led the team among some of the former Australian legends who are in the commentary box. So that for me was such a heartening thing to be able to see that he was being praised for his leadership by all these guys. Somebody like a Ricky Ponting, who has been one of Australia's most successful captains, the Adam Gilchrist, the Mike Husseys, the Shane Warnes, the Damien Flemings. They had nothing but praise for Ajinkya Rahane's captaincy.
Right, Sunny bhai. Boria, Ajinkya Rahane is just such a class act. Cool and calm and composed, and the bowling changes. You know, bowling Ashwin early on in the match. It was incredible to see that man. And then the best batting in this test series so far goes to Ajinkya Rahane, that century.
Absolutely, absolutely. He was class. Not only the bowling changes, the field placements. Every time, if you see, I mean, even today morning, when he tried the short stuff with Bumrah, there was a forward short leg and there was a leg gully. So he was willing to attack. He's blocked Steve Smith. In fact, I'm telling you, a senior member of the team management told me, Stephen Smith is a great batsman, but we have our plan. So much so, you want to get 100, get it out of 400 balls. He will not give you one single run easy. So Ajinkya Rahane had these plans in place. I, by the way, spoke to him multiple times after Adelaide. I can tell you each time what I understood was this guy is focused. His credibility was on the line. His career could have been on the line if this match failed. Remember, he was the one blamed for Virat's dismissal.
He could have been the scapegoat,
the one blamed in a way. Correct. He was the scapegoat. Absolutely correct. So there, imagine the importance of this test match for that man. And I can tell you, after the win also, what he said in the dressing room was he loved the character shown by the team. But thereafter, they had a very small chat in the dressing room. They'll have a party now, perhaps, in the sense they will have a team get-together. But he said there's much to be played. We can win the series. These were the words of the captain. So that makes you feel this man is not satisfied with one win. He wants to win the series. Having said that, Sushant, this is Virat's team. They are constantly in touch with Virat. The team management is, Ajju is, everyone is. So let's not allow anyone to start saying, oh, you know what, let's remove Virat, get Ajinkya. That's the most ridiculously stupid thing to do. We should avoid that. Let Ajinkya enjoy this moment, but he remains vice-captain with Kohli captain. And imagine that bonding. Now with Rohit coming back, the leadership group will be together. Everyone will be together.
I think as always, there's a tendency to be a prisoner of the moment. And then, as you know, we are very emotional about cricket. So all that talk about replacing Virat and permanently having Ajinkya Rahane as captain is there. But as you said, it's basically all just gibberish. But Sunny Bhai, Ravindra Jadeja selection, that also proved to be a masterstroke. Half century, he gets a half century, then he gets 3 wickets in the match. Clearly an inspired change by the Indian team.
He can be very proud of what he's done. It's a hard-fought 50. There comes the celebration.
Well, that is one of the bold decisions that this captain took, or the team management took, because to go in with Ravindra Jadeja as an all-rounder meant that the team had perfect balance. In the batting, it got a little bit of depth with Jadeja batting at 7. In the bowling, they got the extra option, which meant that some of their bowlers like Bumrah and Umesh Yadav could take a little bit of a breather while 2 spinners operated. And then as a fielder, we all know what a fabulous fielder he is. So yes, this was something that the team management has to be congratulated for. Because they said we will go in with Pant at 6. Pant has got hundreds over here. We will then have Jadeja at 7. So that's the kind of bold forward thinking that was very, very impressive. And of course, Jadeja's performance was one of the best that has been seen.
He got hold of that very early.
Right, an important update on the Border Gavaskar trophy. The suspense is over regarding the venue of the third test match. Sydney will host the third test between India and Australia as scheduled. Cricket Australia officials deemed the threat of a COVID-19 outbreak in the city that had subsided enough to allow the match to proceed. An outbreak of the coronavirus in Sydney's northern beaches before Christmas had put Cricket Australia officials on high alert, and the Melbourne Cricket Ground was placed on standby to potentially host back-to-back test matches. The third test kickstarts on 7th January with the series locked at 1-all. Boria, quickly I want to talk about this. Sydney is now the venue. Speak to me about that, but also just speak to me about Ashwin and Bumrah. They have been rock solid. I mean, we haven't spoken about them on this show. Ashwin seems to be a real fear factor. The Australians right now, dare I say this, seem to be fearful of that man. And if Ashwin doesn't get you, Bumrah will certainly get you. So about Sydney,
absolutely
Ashwin
right.
and Bumrah.
First on Sydney, we broke that on Sports Today, that Sydney will remain the venue. And let me also just add a little bit more. Teams will remain in Melbourne. Both teams will remain in Melbourne till 4th of Jan. They will practice in Melbourne, train in Melbourne, and then on the 4th of Jan, they will fly into Sydney. Rohit Sharma will fly into Melbourne tomorrow. At the end of his quarantine, join the team in the bio bubble in Melbourne, train with the team there, and then both teams fly into Sydney. They're confident enough of pulling the test match off, and it will be the pink test, as you know, with the J. McGrath Day.
Yeah.
So it's a very iconic test match. To Bumrah and Ravichandran Ashwin, Ashwin has been absolutely superlative. He's got under Smith's skin. He's doing 2 things. And I've spoken to multiple experts. One, he's confident of his ability, not rushing too much in the sense, not trying too many variations. He's at peace with Ashwin, the legend that he is. 370 plus wickets don't come easy. He's an absolute champion. And this year, he's mentally at peace too. He's not given any runs away.
Yeah.
So even when he's not picking wickets in a half, he's not giving anything away to the Australians, allowing booms to attack from the other end. And both of them, if you see, whoever is bowling, both of them are talking to the bowlers. So they are part of the leadership group. And you asked Sunny Bhai about Jaddu. Let me give you the backstage inside story, the exclusive. This was a Ravi Shastri plan. The night before they were discussing, and he said, apparently this is how it happened, that they said that 2 players, in the first test, it was all monotonous with right-handers. So if you get Pant and Jaddu as left-handers, the monotony of the thing will break. The bowlers, they will have to change their lines. As a result, they felt that even the right-handers will find it easier to score. And you saw that with Pant and then with Jaddu. That's how the team management arrived at this plan and got Jaddu in.
All right. Well, Boria, Majumdar, Sunil Gavaskar, thank you so much for joining us. The series is still on, guys. We'll get you every update on Sports Today. Time for a short break now. But on the other side, we celebrate Virat Kohli, the cricketer of the decade.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.